If starting your website re-platform or redesign is on your to-do list for 2024 and you just can't get started, don't hesitate. This is not one you can sleep on in 2024. Make sure you chat with the team at Convert Digital. They are a leading Shopify Plus partner with teams in Sydney, Melbourne, and Brisbane. Convert Digital have developed amazing sites for great e-commerce brands such as Camilla and Mark, Naked Harvest, Gander, Cocoa Black, 2XU, Superdry, and more. Don't take my word for it. Head on over to convertdigital.com.au to view their work or reach out directly to the team on hello@convertdigital.com.au.
Welcome to The Checkout. We catch up with previous Add to Cart guests and ask them 5 quick questions to get to know them better and leave you with a little extra inspiration to get through your Friday. Here's your host, Bushy.
Today's checkout features William On and Rob Hango-Zada, co-founders of Shippit. Shippit is a multi-carrier shipping software specifically for e-commerce and used by retailers such as Super Retail Group, Big W, Cotton On, and Harvey Norman. After seeing eye to eye at university, quite literally, and watching their Attlassian mates do very well, the friends decided to get in on the action and launch their own logistics solution. Now, millions of packages are sent with the help of Shippit every month, and the company has expanded beyond Australia and New Zealand to Singapore and Malaysia with a revenue of more than $66 million. Will and Rob, welcome to the checkout. Thank you for everything that you shared on our main episode. It was brilliant to hear about your expansion into Southeast Asia, how you're helping retailers bring cost savings of, average of 20% with a multi-carrier model, and how retailers can actually think of themselves as fulfillment agents rather than just an afterthought at the end. So some great examples in there. Thank you. But we're here to learn a little bit more about you. So I've got 5 quick questions for both of you. All right. Number 1, what's the weirdest thing that you've ever bought online? Will?
I don't really buy much online, to be honest. My wife does everything for me. Are you going to ask Rob this? Everything from what I wear to things at work, she just does all the shopping for me, and it kills Rob.
So everybody heard that, right? What he wears is bought for him by his wife. Okay, cool. Next question.
Totally outsourced.
All I got from that, Will, is you just don't like e-commerce.
Ouch. So enough about him. If there's anyone who's offsetting his lack of purchasing, it's probably myself and my wife. Look, I've bought so many things and I won't divulge the weirdest thing, but I probably think the thing that I never thought I would have bought online is a car. And I bought a car online last year.
Tesla?
Yep.
Yep.
Super easy. Almost Apple paid it as well.
Awesome. All right, number 2, who is your favorite retailer? It can be international or national, and I'm really interested if it comes from a fulfillment perspective as well.
I love Nike. It is such a great brand, and I think they've just done a great job in building loyalty. Their decision to move off marketplace, super inspirational from the types of athletes that they've got sponsoring. So Nike's the brand for me.
And are they a target in Southeast Asia as a client?
Sure are.
Love it. Rob, what about you?
It's a tough one, right? I spread the love so wide and broad, but I reckon Zara's got a really great kind of experience in terms of just the browsability, the app experience, the seamlessness of the delivery. I just think that they're nailing it on a lot of fronts, and there's a lot we can learn from them.
Yeah, great. Great examples. Number 3, which e-commerce practice do you wish was history?
You know what? I was looking at my personal inbox and I miss emails all the time. And usually it's an appointment my wife is setting that I need to know about. And the reason I do is because I just have this deluge of newsletters sitting in my inbox. So I don't know, newsletters and email, I don't know if it's there.
As someone who writes a newsletter every week, that really hurts, Rob, right to the heart.
But no, those are the emails I want to get, I think there's for anyone listening out there, there's a massive opportunity to create a digest, right? Here are the things you should care about from the brands you know and love, and just give me 1 email a day, not 100.
Brilliant. Nice recovery. I like it. What about you, Will? What's the practice you wish was history?
Well, in Southeast Asia, I get so much spam SMS and so many calls and they're all wanting me to buy something. And it's not just about putting in my credit card details. It's actually about like buying products. And as what Rob said, I've got a bigger affinity for WhatsApp, especially being here in region. And there's like so many interest groups that you get forced added into. That just needs to go, like needs to stop happening.
Yeah, WhatsApp does my head in for how simple it is. And like, we don't use a fraction of it in Australia.
Yeah.
It does my head in. All right, number 4. Can you recommend a book or a podcast that our listeners should immediately get into? Will?
I've got 3. I listen to All In every week. I listen to Invest in the Best. And I also listen to Add to Cart.
I like that. Thank you, mate. Rob?
Look, I don't have as much time as Will does to listen to podcasts. He goes on nice long runs and walks on the beach. I don't. So I try my best to listen to a book in my spare time. I think one of the best ones in the last few years is probably a book called The Goal. Bit old school. If you're in for some entertainment, download the Audible version of the book. It's a pretty amazing one.
Okay, good recommendations. Thanks, guys. Last one I have for you. Finish this sentence. The future of retail is Rob. Well, not the future of retail is Rob, but Rob, what's your answer?
There you go. That's a great way to know. Look, I think the future of retail is local. That's mine.
Great. As in local all the way through the chain or local last mile?
I think the future is local last mile, but a big part of that is making sure goods are as close to the customer as possible before they buy. I think that's the big one. How do you get a white good out to regional Australia on winning the appliances experience? That's the future of retail for me.
Yeah, great. What about you, Will?
Future of e-commerce is social. So social commerce is massive here in Southeast Asia and it's growing exponentially. I think targeting interest groups, they seeing huge runs on the board. And I see China as a really good, like a bellwether for that as well. And social commerce has been growing really quickly. So I think it's soon to hit Australia.
Oh, I think you are so well placed, aren't you, after spending time in Singapore, going as deep as you do with retailers in shipping. Some might call it the arse end of e-commerce. I wouldn't say that. But you have seen it all. So I think that puts you in such good stead for when you do come back to Australia and can share that with retailers here as well. I think it's going to be fascinating. Rob and Will, thank you so much for joining us on the checkout.
Thanks, Nathan.
Thanks so much for having us.
To hear more from Will and Rob, jump back into episode 406, where Will and Rob share how they use data to optimize delivery performance. They tell us the pros and cons of brands owning their own fleets, and they share a surprising shipping paradox, which has led to the pioneering code share solution that they haven't developed. Thanks for listening, and until next time, keep adding to cart.